So is there something that you practice, like when you're feeling blue, to help you focus on the human being and versus the human doing? Like to help, is there something that you do to like help bring yourself up, elevate your?
Oh yeah. The two main things that I have found helped me just on a daily basis, if I'm feeling down or if I am like getting in a darker drab place.
Right.
Number one is I have what I call alive moments.
Okay.
And I believe that alive moments can come spontaneously when, sometimes you're just walking your dog around your neighborhood and you see this really beautiful tree and then you look down at your dog and then you feel the breeze on your skin and you're like, oh my God, life is beautiful and I'm alive. And that's an alive moment where we have this like meta awareness that we're alive and life is beautiful, and like it's sometimes it brings tears to your eyes because it's also magnificent.
Yes.
But I also believe that we can cultivate alive moments, and that's what I'm talking about, these everyday transcendent experiences that we talked about earlier, which is like, if we are having a hard time, we're feeling empty, or we're having a tough day, we can take a moment to look out the window. For me, looking at the sky or looking at nature really gets me there.
Gotcha.
But looking at that and just observing like how beautiful the sky is, or looking at a shard of light as it comes through your window onto the ground, and we can just start to say, you know what, this is a tough moment, but there's still so much beauty in the world, and I'm alive, and let's keep going, right? Like the little, that alive moment pep talk.
Yes.
So those are the alive moments,
Okay.
the spontaneous ones, and the ones we create. And then the other way that I bring myself out of a dark place, and it happened for me around January 1st this year. I was in one of the darkest places of my life. Like I said, we were not good. Kate was not good. And suddenly I realized, not suddenly, but, over the span of a short amount of time, I realized, like, I'm really tired of swimming around in my own crap. Like, honestly, I'm thinking how everything in my life is terrible. Nothing is working out. Everything sucks. Nobody loves me. I'm so alone. And that was when I realized that the second way to get myself, and maybe this might resonate with you as well, out of a dark place, is to manually change our minds toward positivity and stop thinking those negative thoughts and force ourselves to think positive thoughts even when it's frustrating. And I like to think about it like a big old barge. You got a big old barge on the open ocean, and when you're going to turn a barge, it don't just like take a right. Don't just like flip a Louis. When you're turning a barge, you have to turn, and it takes this big 90-degree thing. And when you're in a dark place and your mind is wired for negative thinking, that's
hard.
It's hard. It's moving the barge. It's going to be slow and creaky and painful, and you're going to want to just keep going the way that you were. But that is one truth that I learned, at least for me this year, was I had to do the reps. It's like lifting weights of redirecting my negative thoughts to positive thoughts, redirecting my negative thoughts to peaceful thoughts, and doing that over and over again rewired my brain. It kind of rewired my spirit, and it's not sexy work, but I'm here to tell you that I was in one of the darkest places of my life, and I sit here today in one of the best places of my life. Yes. And I'm sure I'll go down again, and I'll have to turn the barge once more.
Yes. Okay. So like what was the term you used? Manual adjustment?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you said?
It's a manual adjustment. It's like we can't wait because since when I was really, really down, when I was depressed until now, not that much about my life circumstances have changed. It wasn't external stuff that got better. It was me just deciding I was tired of swimming around in my own negativity, and that I was ready to do the work to get out.
And so like, are we talking like affirmations that you repeat to yourself, or are we talking like what you said, going out into nature to manually change your outward experience, or or both, or?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. For me, I definitely didn't do it alone. I hired a coach. I visited a medium. I have my therapist who I absolutely adore and have been seeing for a long time. It was also getting out into nature. It's also just really trying to notice when I was thinking nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, nothing's going to work out, and being like, that's not reasonable.
Yeah.
Turn the barge towards, it's possible it might work out.
Yeah.
Just hope for the best. Keep going.
Yeah.
I also do like to do, I do tapping as well as I'm doing my tapping. I do some affirmations and like, you know, I am limitless.
Yeah.
I have the possibility to be profoundly happy, you know, whatever comes up for you. So it wasn't just one thing, but it is getting the support system together and then doing the reps to change the mind, because I do think it's a spiritual shift, but I also think it's a neural shift, getting all those negative neural connections to rewire into positive neural connections.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's just like learning a new language, like rewires your brain. So like 15 minutes a day will make a difference.
Oh yeah.
That's, so true. I love that. Did you say manual adjustment? Is that the phrase you used?
I think we could come up with a better name.
Okay.
And now you're inspiring me to turn the barge is how I call it. But it's essentially just a manual adjustment, even when it's painful, even when it's creaky. Yeah. And eventually, though, the cool thing is it goes from being a turn the barge to, once we start doing it and putting in the reps of forcing ourselves out of negative thinking, then it becomes like turning a jet ski after a while, because the neural connections, they start mating, or I'm not a neurologist, but they're there and it's easier for them to connect. And so then I went from, I have to think a positive thought. Yeah. Like, okay, Kate, like think about, and then eventually as I kept doing that, it's like, I just notice I'm thinking that nobody cares about me, nobody loves me. That's not true, Kate.
Right.
People love you. You love you. You have a dog named Pajamas who loves you. Yeah. And then it becomes like this, I just turned the jet ski towards positivity. It does get easier.
Yeah. And so, what was really helpful for me in my journey of overcoming that was recognizing my patterns for what leads up to a depressive spell.
Yep.
And what of those patterns are in my control, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to move a barge.
Yeah. You can put it on a tow truck. Yeah. Another barge can push another barge. You can turn it.
A big wave.
Yes. I love this. We've just totally blown that open now, and it's like, any way you can move the barge.
Yeah.
Move it.
Yeah. If you need a wave to move the barge, then put yourself in line for a wave, right?
Or call somebody up and say, I need a wave. Yeah. Right? Like, be my wave.
Yeah. That's key. Yeah.
It's not easy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.